Why Choose to Believe in God? By James P. Pearce. This is of course a very rampant existential question that has plagued our human condition and our mentality for centuries. The word plague obviously invokes our deepest fears and quite possibly our deepest desires to overcome our enemies no matter who they are. Yet there are so many that negate even the presence of God. At the same time, God knows they negate that presence. Speaking of existential and very real presence in this world, it is simply put that it is really just a party of overeducated women and cooked-out men who think they have a better moral structure than God. They talk down to minorities who they think need to be led to some hope, and we are here to foot the bill, when in fact that pisses them off even more and does nothing to improve the places they come from, and then their best bet is extreme fringe moral causes. So when the government does what it is actually supposed to do, we witness a very weak foundation crumble like the nothingness it was born from. You see the attack on the families, and they have overplayed the racist card on the left, yet when someone dissents, then they lose their power. Because people from those backgrounds and cultures, especially from the old country, the family, it's an honor, and even some cultures think that every family has certain lifeblood and/or specific legacy to them are carried on. The only values that align with them here in America are still what is left of the modern political conservative movement. Like someone who invests in a business, where is and what is the purpose of that investment? Money is something that has a very godlike power over people. It is something that can become an addiction if someone is not careful, but it can also lead to plenty of other good uses. It can be used to do much good for those that have it. The poor want it and the rich have it, yet at the same token, the poor are looked at with a special grace from God. The rich have to know better and use proper discernment. Yet this transaction is more than just that. The wager is something much deeper and interconnected than what we could even realize as such. Why is this wager always deduced down to something of monetary value? This has become a very overarching condition of the Western mind. If it does not make dollars, then it does not make sense. This euphemism is always once of impact and one of denial. For we surely know the wages of sin are death. Yet we continue to embrace it with a Western dialectic. How awful of a conviction to have! Yet these transaction type of mentalities leads us into oblivion. We all know Nietzsche tackled these questions. He did it in several of his writings, and it took him to the brink of madness to live in his head on multiple occasions. There is something that is on a continuous basis, from his mind to question the West, to see the West decline in another cycle. Spengler gets it right where there is plenty of that with is not much of our concern, yet again, it makes it worse. This transaction no longer becomes a simple transaction. This causes us to stray away from more dialectical circumstances. The grace that is there is not ordained by man, it is ordained by God. It cannot have any cases where it is justified by us, which is why we have to make the choice to believe in God.